Good morning, folks. The real Captain Kirk here, live from Weather Trends 360 studio here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It is Monday morning, the 25th of November. A lot to talk about, so we will move at warp speed. Looking at snow cover here this morning across the U.S. As of the 25th, 14.3% of the country has snow on the ground, so that's not very much and actually below average. But we're about to change that here big time here, looking at the next 2-week outlook. Looking at North America snow extent, now this is across the entire North American continent here, fourth most in 53 years. So we've had a lot of snow out there across Canada and North America and U.S. Fourth most again. Normal would be about 8.8 million square kilometers. We're well above that here so far this season. Usually it's a bellwether of a potential snowy winter, but not always. But again, off to a good start. Looking at snowfall now for the U.S. Since the season started here. Trending down a little bit from last year's very, very snowy start. So U.S. snowfall now is 1.7% less than last year, 37% above average, and that's still the 8th snowiest in 30 years, so a fast start to say the least. Looking at the trends here, we've had a little bit of a mild trend here nationally. These bars show it's been warmer than average across the country here, generally speaking, the last couple weeks. That's about to change here. You can see the big blast here is coming in this week, parts of the country, and then it'll be sweeping east, and then getting much colder as we get into December and even out there through toward Christmas. So again, we think it's going to be a colder, snowier trend certainly than last year, well into the Christmas season. So we do believe that about half of us might have snow on the ground by the time we get to Christmas morning. Looking at this week overall, 25 November through 1 December, a little bit warmer than last year, 2 degrees warmer than last year, 10th warmest in 30 years. Again, but we have a major cold front coming across the country here right around midweek through the Midwest and then sweeping off the East Coast Thanksgiving morning. So it will be a cold blast is coming. Rainfall is the wettest in 30 years, so a lot of rainfall out there. Snowfall more than last year and above average. We'll look at some of the snow totals here, again, going across the country here. This is today, and then a system developing in the Rockies Tuesday. Again, big storm there in Denver and parts of Nebraska, and then heading into the upper Midwest, Minneapolis certainly to get a decent 8 to 12 inch plus snowstorm. Looking at Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, again, another system moving into the Rocky Mountains. And then again, you can see it developing here Friday and Saturday, moving out into the northern plains, a little further northern track than this current storm. So 2 storms to contend with. Go through these one more time here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the big storm going through the Midwest. Could certainly impact flight delays. And then another big system, probably if about time you're coming home here, another big storm system over the weekend in the northern plains. Again, so snowy to say the least. This might be a bit overdone. These are the model estimates for week 1 this week and week 2 on the right there. So again, all the snow is pretty much in the northern Rocky Mountains and the plains. A little bit maybe up in there in Maine. They may get some of this Thanksgiving Day snowstorm up in Maine. And then next week, again, maybe the higher terrain of New England and the Great Lakes as the cold air starts to move in. If we look at here this next week overall, we'd say it's 1.6 degrees colder than last year nationally, coldest in 9 years. So cold east, warming trend west. So again, it's kind of a flip-flop pattern here. It goes from cold to warm, cold to warm. So pretty fast pattern still. 8th coldest in 30 years, below average nationally. Driest in 9 years, I haven't said that in a long time. 7th driest in 30 years, below average precip here for the country as a whole. Snowfall probably similar to last year, but again, a little below average. Again, most of that will just be a lake effect and higher elevation of New England and the Appalachian Mountains. A little bit in the Rockies, but not as much as they're going to get this week. Looking at Thanksgiving Day here, certainly going to have some impact with the Macy's Day Parade again this year. I think they had some issues last year, certainly going to have some this year. I think they're only allowed to fly the big balloons when wind gusts are below 34 miles an hour. Unfortunately, that's about where they're going to be, 36, 38, 40 miles an hour wind gust in New York City Thanksgiving morning. So the big balloons may be grounded, unfortunately, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Cold in the northwest, cold in the central U.S., stormy, certainly the case there in the west. Warm, you want it warm, you got to head to Florida in the south. It'll be mild along the east coast in the morning, but again, that cold front will be sweeping off. So very, very windy in the northeast as the colder air begins to move in. With that, folks, we hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll end here with our Thanksgiving message to you. Have a great week.